right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Health Tips with Avril. And we want to apologize for not being on yesterday. We were having some challenges, but nonetheless, we are here and we want to welcome our special guest this evening. So our special guest has a very nice treat for us today. Her name is Ingrid Johnson Green, and she is here to tell us a lot about herself and the experience that she has had with emotional abuse and overcoming emotional abuse. This topic, I know for sure, for some of us, is very ticklish. It's very sensitive, but we want you to listen and to just have an open mind with our topic this evening. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world listening to us this evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Ingrid. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
All right, all right. So welcome to Health Tips with Avril. I know this is the first time being here with us, and I want to take the privilege and thank you for making that sacrifice to be here and to share with us with your experience.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
All right. Wow. I haven't seen you for what? Almost since when?
Many years.
Yeah, many years.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, time flies. But
I
anyway,
know.
it's wonderful to have you here, and thank you so much for making time to be here with us on Health Tips with Avril. I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, who is Ingrid Johnson Green, and just let us know a little bit about yourself before we go into our topic this evening.
Okay. As you say, I am Ingrid Green. I am from the sunny island of Jamaica, from the
Yes,
parish of St. Mary, and I live on the northeast coast.
yes.
What most people may know about me is that I am the author of the book, I Can't Let This Kill Me. A journaling experience from brokenness, pain, confusion, to emotional healing. What most people may also know about me is that my desire to empower women led me to initiate this program, Identify and Healing the Surge of Domestic Violence in Today's Society. I believe if we as persons understand and recognize the flags, then there'll be less violence in terms of relationship, less abuse, because we'll be able to understand and recognize the red flags. What most people may not know about me or may know about me is that I'm a graduate of the Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies. I walk by faith and not by sight.
Amazing.
And what you definitely may not know about me is that even though I am an advocate for I'm ambassador for the nonprofit organization One Love, there was a time when I was in an abusive employer-employee relationship.
Yeah.
And that is a backdrop of my experience this evening that I would like to share with you and your listening audience.
I want to welcome you once again, and I know for sure it probably was not easy to make a decision to be here. A lot of people have stage fright, but I am happy that you are courageous and you're able to be here this evening.
Keep me in your prayers.
Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about our topic this evening. I know it is emotional abuse that we're talking about, overcoming emotional abuse. I know it's a topic that is very sensitive to everyone. Well, to some people who already went through it. But tell us a little bit about emotional abuse.
Okay, let me start by giving you a snippet of the effects of it. As I started out, when there was a time that I was in an emotional abusive relationship, an employer-employee relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And during the course of the time, I was a little bit stressed out with his behavior. However, one morning I noticed it was time for me to go to work. but I was in bed crying. I know that, as I said, I was getting stressed out with his behavior, but I wasn't sure why is it I was crying. I didn't know it was that escalated to that point. So I decided to do mirror work. So I got up, went into the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror. I asked myself, what are you afraid of? The answer was, this man is going to destroy you emotionally. It was then that I realized that on a subconscious level, I had already labeled this man a narcissist, an emotional abuser. Let me at this time put a disclaimer out. I am not qualified to diagnose a narcissist. So what I use as my guideline are the criteria that is set forth in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual. Let me at this time attempt to share my screen so you may have. Okay. So from this, narcissists are in cluster 3.
Yes.
So I use this as my guideline, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. And this is the 5th edition, the DMS-5. Now, as I continue, are you seeing the screen?
Yeah, I was about to say that you're not seeing the screen. I know the internet probably delayed on your end. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What are you seeing now?
I'm just seeing the two of us right now.
You're not seeing the screen as yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But nonetheless,
let me try again. Of course, not a problem. I will try again.
We're not going to let this discourage us, right? So.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm in the process of trying again.
Yeah, awesome. I could see something happening right now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just have a little mishap. Okay, so right now we're seeing it. We're seeing your screen. Fantastic.
Okay, good.
Amazing. All right. We're seeing the screen right now.
All right. So in cluster 3, that's where you'll find the category for narcissist.
Yeah.
Okay. So narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional abuse. Is the screen moving?
Yes.
On your end?
Yes, I can
right.
see it.
So people may wonder, what is narcissistic abuse? It is a form of emotional abuse. Yeah. And I will share with you, as I said, it's my experience. So this is what I am willing to share.
Yeah.
Now, most people will have come into contact with a narcissist, but may not know that this is a narcissist. Yes. May not know the signs. May initially think this is a little odd, the behavior is a little odd, but not readily understand that this is a narcissist at play. Yeah. The narcissist enters relationship with 2 motives: to enhance and to advance. Anything, they don't enter it for love. They enter it to boost their self-esteem. So whatever it is that will make them look good in the public's eye, if it's a wife, she's pretty, she's educated. If she's educated, it should not be above him, because they cannot handle anybody that is above them. They are the supreme, they're at the top. They enter it to advance their agenda. Whatever it is, they will do to accomplish their agenda. Manipulate, steal, lie, it doesn't matter. They lack spiritual qualities. So these are not persons that are in the relationship for mutual growth. They are the only ones that's supposed to grow. If you grow, it is because your growth in some way makes them look good. Okay. They have a sense of entitlement. Go ahead, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just wanted to interject here and go back to the other slide before you take this one.
Okay.
Before this one, yeah. I just want us to slow down.
Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing it.
Okay.
So you said that with that type of relationship, they are there for enhance and advance.
Right.
So enhancing as in enhancing the narcissistic person's
appearance,
self-esteem.
Their appearance, because anything that may boost, all right, they feel empty within themselves. They don't they don't have a healthy sense of self-esteem. So they use external things to prop them up. So whatever it is that makes them look good in the public's eye, make them feel good. So that's their
Okay.
interpretation of self-esteem.
So more like men pleasing. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, okay. And then the advanced part of it is purpose and agenda.
Right. So if they will speak to someone, get involved in a relationship with an agenda in mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will get married because society expects them to get married. So they don't get married because they love the person. It makes them look good in society. It makes them get promotion at their job. They have an agenda for everything that they do.
Okay.
If it,
Well, yeah, I
Go
was
ahead.
saying, yeah, thank you for bringing that slide back, because if any one of the audiences are having anyone, I see your dog is keeping you active.
I know. I didn't realize it was that loud.
Yes, yes. I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, you may come across those type of persons. Maybe you not aware of the characteristic of those persons, but uh, our guest Ingrid is telling us about uh, how to look out for those characteristics of a narcissistic person. Sorry, Ingrid. He's kind of in the
Is
program.
it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let me see if I can get you moved.
yeah. That would be nice. I know he's
Yeah.
probably taking charge right now because he's.
It's their mating season. I do apologize for that.
Oh
So
my gosh!
other dogs are other dogs are passing. All
Yeah,
right,
what
I
is?
sent a message, so hopefully
Yeah.
they'll move him soon.
Okay. So once again, I want to welcome everyone who is here this evening. I can see Lisa is on, Lisa Gomez. Good evening. Good evening to you wherever you are in the world listening to us right now. Thank you for making time to be with us tonight. And our topic is overcoming emotional abuse. And Miss Johnson was just breaking it down for us what her experience is with a narcissistic person. Um, you can continue when you able to, Ingrid.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Okay, all
yeah.
right.
Thanks.
So some of the red flags that we should look out for.
Yes.
They require a lot, an excessive amount of admiration. They want to be pleased. They want you to say how good they are, how great they are, how admirable they are, how handsome they are, how beautiful they are. And
Yeah.
this is their supply. It props them up, it makes them feel good. Without that, they feel empty. So if you
Oh,
don't give them this excessive amount of admiration, they're going to
yeah.
move away from you because you're not supplying them with what they need.
With the needs. Oh my.
Right.
This is mind blowing for me because sometimes you will come across those persons probably, and then you don't
Mm-hmm.
realize exactly the term, or what is
Mm-hmm.
this all about, because it's new. And
Exactly.
some of us just have to be aware of those type of characteristics in persons that we meet, and these persons can be both men and women.
And women at 50 to 75%. Studies show that fall in the category of male. So the
Yeah,
majority are male. And even if persons listening have never met these kind of person and will never meet, there are persons
yes,
who will come to us for advice. And if they
yes,
list these things, at least we'll be able to know, okay, that person
yes,
sounds like a narcissist. So if not
yes.
for us, for somebody else.
Okay, good evening, Zawanya. Good evening, Sweni. Good evening again, Lisa. I'm just saying hi to everyone who's on right now. Thank you so much for being
Yes,
here with us, ladies.
I
Yeah,
appreciate them.
yeah. So I I don't know. This is, like I said, this is mind blowing. So if we come across those persons with that kind of characteristics, we would be able to point out because you're telling us what to look for, correct?
Exactly. And my aim is to
Yeah.
put the red flags out there. So
Mm-hmm.
once you meet someone, and you cannot use just one, but once you
Yes.
start seeing an excessive amount, then
Yeah.
you realize that, okay, this is
Yeah.
something that I need to look carefully into before I move any further.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
even though we like to be admired, normally we do, they
We
have
do.
an excessive need for it. They need it to survive. They need it for the as a supply.
Well, I would say we are emotional creatures, right? We
Right,
ladies, female, the emotion side of us is always kicking in. So
right.
we will always embrace, that type
Hmm.
of relationship or that type of characteristics in a person. So
Right.
it's good to, open our eyes a little bit on that subject. You
Okay.
can go ahead with the rest of the characteristics.
Right. They have a sense of entitlement. They believe that I am entitled to it. As long as I believe that I want it, then I should
Mm-hmm.
have it, even if it's unreasonable.
Yes.
They expect that to be issued to them.
Yeah.
These people are exploitive. They take advantage of others. As I say, they go into relationships, whether it's platonic, whether it's business, whether it's intimate. They go
Yeah.
into it to achieve their own end. You are just a means to an end to a narcissist. They go into it to achieve their own agenda and their own purpose. They lack empathy. If
Mm-hmm.
someone dies, for example, and you say to someone, you know, such and such person died, it as if it didn't register with them. You
Yeah.
won't see that sadness or that feeling, that emotion that a normal person would show.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if they are cold. It didn't register with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're unwilling to identify with the needs of others. As I said, they don't really care about the other person. They're in it for a purpose.
Yeah.
They're often envious of person and saying other persons are envious of them. So it's a kind of projection,
Yeah.
haughty behaviors and attitude.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you for bringing that to us because I don't know how many times I must say thank you because I know for sure a lot of our audiences are out there listening and they probably even eager to hear more about what you have to say regarding the emotional abuser.
Right. And what I have noticed since the sessions came out, the 8-week session about identifying this sort of domestic violence, is that persons were experiencing it and not knowing what it was. So persons can be experiencing this kind of abuse, but don't know what it was, because when I was experiencing it, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what it was. I had
Yeah.
no word to describe this, say this is a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I was in the living room one day with my family. I was on the laptop, they were watching the news, and I overheard this on the television. They're describing a particular leader of a country,
Yeah.
and they were saying this person's a narcissist. And I'm saying to myself, but they are describing X
So
person, X
exactly.
person. Exactly. So if
Mm-hmm.
that person wasn't on the television and they were
Yeah.
and the psychologists were describing that person, I would know that it was narcissistic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So they could be experiencing it, but not have a name for what they're experiencing.
Yeah.
Okay, are you seeing it now? United Nations
Yeah.
emotional
Yeah.
abuse?
Yeah. We saying
Right.
that. Yeah.
So they undermine the person's sense of self-worth through constant criticism. You're not
Yeah.
good enough. You can't do this right. You are
Mm-hmm.
not X. You are not Y. They're always trying to criticize you, trying to pick at your self-worth. They belittle
Yeah.
your ability. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you do. Oh, you could have
Mm-hmm.
done it better. Or so and so did it better. Or maybe next time, if you get a promotion, well,
Yeah.
maybe you weren't good enough to get the higher position. Nothing that you do is ever good enough. So it's a constant jab at your self-worth and your
Yeah.
self-esteem. Name calling, verbal abuse, and damaging a partner reputation with their children, or letting partners see friends and family. They try to isolate you, because once they isolate you, then they can abuse you at free will, at their
Okay.
own leisure.
Yeah. And
Oh,
emotional abuse is very hard on people. I mean, physical abuse is already hard, and emotional abuse is even worse when I
and
really think of it and what you're describing there.
it is. And as I've always said, persons with physical abuse, studies show that they get more sympathy than persons with emotional abuse, and understandably so, because when you look at someone, you can't readily see that this person is being abused. And it's a hard
Yes.
concept to understand, and person going through it may not have the vocabulary at the time to explain fully what is it that they're experiencing. So yes,
Yeah.
it is harder to detect because there are no physical signs.
Yeah.
And I will go through not all of it, but I want to put it there that the audience can see it. So I said they
Yeah.
try to isolate you. They monitor you wherever you go. They're very controlling who you're going, where you're going, what time you should come back. Very controlling. Some may not want you to work because they want, that's another level of control. They want
Oh
you within
my.
their arm's reach, and determine if you leave, where you go, when you go. When you want money, you have to depend on them because you have no source of income. You're fully under their control. Punishment, they withhold affection. Affection. As human beings, as you said earlier, we want affection. They
Yes.
withhold it as a form of punishment. That's how devious they can be. And you have to
Oh.
ask permission for everything. They will threaten to hurt you, your children, or your family, and they're always trying to humiliate you. Okay.
This
Now,
is this is a full house, Ingrid. It's
okay.
it's so much. So far, I can see Marsha Ellis, and she's saying it's great. It's a great presentation. She's enjoying that so far. Lisa
Okay,
Gomez,
good.
she's listening from Trinidad. Um,
Okay.
and so we have lots of persons here giving comments and also sharing some disinformation with us. So Lisa just made a comment there, and she said, yes, they are very exploitive in the
Exactly.
description that you were mentioning. And it's all about them and not no matter what. It is so
Exactly.
true what you just said, right? So
Yes.
I just wanted to see all of those comments there and then to make sure that it is being said and persons are engaging, which is very, very good and excellent, because when we come to talking about emotional abuse and physical abuse, whatever abuse it is, persons shy away from those topics because as far as they're concerned, it is my business, it's me, it shouldn't be out there. But if you are not getting help, basically you're dying internally when it comes to emotional abuse.
Exactly. And studies also show, Avril, is that persons who suffer long-term abuse, and if they don't get help, they die earlier.
Oh my.
Yes. Okay. So the narcissists, they have a modus operandi, their MO. And based on my experience, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
Kill, steal, and destroy. They try to kill your reputation with their lies and their smear campaigns. They kill your hopes, your dreams for the future. They try to steal your friends by poisoning their minds against you, your friends, your family. They try to steal your joy and your peace of mind.
Yeah.
And they try to destroy your brain, because it has been proven that long-term emotional abuse does cause brain damage. They try to destroy your sanity and the very
Yeah.
essence of who you are. They feel
Yeah.
empty, so they want to
Yeah.
destroy you as a person.
Okay, so go back to that slide, please. Because there's another person I know who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You know who I'm talking about?
this was deliberate because when I
No.
was going through it,
Yeah.
when I was going through it,
Yeah.
and I've met more than once. I was wondering, one, if this is a sign. But when I
Yeah.
was going through one lasted for 14 years.
Yeah.
I said to myself, the devil must have sent you to send my soul to hell. Because
Oh my God,
these
it's not funny.
these people, Avril, they are not
Mm-hmm.
normal. And that is
Mm-hmm.
why they are listed in the book of Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. These
Yeah.
people have something wrong with them and they need help.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
prey on the innocent and unsuspecting persons.
Correct.
And
But sorry,
go
before you
ahead.
go on, I was saying there's another person that I know who
Mm-hmm.
comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
of Satan because that's how they describe him in the Bible. I don't know
That's
if
why
you.
I said it was. That's why I said it was deliberate,
Yes.
because that's how they operate.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
someone shared with me that I
Yeah.
won't call any names, so they can't
Yeah.
know who it is.
Right. Yeah.
That when they separated from their narcissist, they removed the person's name and put, I think it was either Satan or devil.
Yes.
If you have
Yes.
not lived through it, Avril, it's hard
Yeah.
for you to understand. When persons know that, when I first put myself out there and persons
Yeah.
were calling me, persons
Mm-hmm.
were crying just to know without saying anything that here is someone who understands everything that I'm going through. Because it's hard to explain. So when you meet someone without having to say anything, you know they know what you're going through. It's a relief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just a relief knowing. And there's a bond. Because
Yes.
if you survive a narcissist, you, to me, you're above the average person in terms of emotional and mental strength.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people, as I said, April, it's as if you're running up and down in the house hiding from a killer. The only thing, they're not killing your body, they're destroying your mind and killing your soul and the essence of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So every day you're on high alert
Yeah.
because you don't know what is to expect next. You don't know what is coming next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to walk on as if you're walking. If you watch those, I would love to watch movies. If you watch those movies where they go and they have to be walking carefully because there could be bombs under the
Yes.
earth. They're trying to find the
Yeah.
bombs. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, that's how you live your life, not knowing
Yeah.
what to expect. So every day you're just in this fight mode and trying to put up your guard. In stress
Yeah.
mode every day. It's toxic.
Yeah. 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 It is toxic. And I just wanted to say that welcome to all new persons who is joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, our topic tonight is overcoming emotional abuse. And you are welcome to ask your questions if you have any questions for Miss Johnson, and her answer will be depending on her experience because that is what she is sharing with us this evening. Once again, welcome to our live, and we appreciate you taking the time to be with us this evening.
Right.
Right.
Can I go ahead and move on now?
Yes, Holly or Howley is just expressing saying good night to all of us.
Okay. Good
Yeah,
night.
so we have many persons on the chat who is engaging, so that is fantastic. I am
Glad to
happy
have them.
we could have them here this evening. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Oh no. I mean, it just leads into this part of it that
Yeah.
it was never my intention to add my voice to this conversation, April.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
private person. I had
Mm-hmm.
no intention of putting my voice out there. I did the book. I said, let the book speak for itself. And that was
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
And even though I met this other person, I said, maybe I should say something. I met another narcissist and I still said no. I just wanted to stay in my safe zone. Because when
Mm-hmm.
these people go after you, Avril, it's not pretty. So I just
Okay.
wanted to stay in my safe zone and leave them
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
But then earlier
Yeah.
this year,
Yes.
a few months ago, I was reading this article on emotional abuse. And then
Yes.
I saw another part of it that says the effects of long-term emotional abuse. And I saw brain damage. And I said, brain damage from long-term emotional abuse? No, Abel, this was not smiling time anymore. Not that it was
Mm-hmm.
before,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
brain damage. And I'm thinking, and they list one of the manifestation of the sign of it is brain fog.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I remember going through brain fog after my life collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I didn't know it was brain fog. I remember as if I can't reach my thoughts. If I'm trying to focus on something, I can't focus. It's as if I'm in a daze. Nothing is coming into focus.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I just don't feel as sharp as I used to be. I knew
Yeah.
something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
If I was talking about X and deviate for a second to mention something else, I couldn't find out what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
just gone. I know it happens to us sometimes when we forget, but this was constantly. This was happening too often for me to be calm about it. So when I
Yeah.
read it and I saw that while I was busy protecting my heart, not to hate these people were damaging my brain. They were damaging my brain.
Yeah.
And at first I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
I said, here are these people going around destroying people's emotions, destroying their reputation with their smear campaign, and also damaging their brain.
Yes.
It was at
Yes.
this point that I decided I need to add my voice to this conversation
Yes.
because people
Yes.
need to know the red flag. And along with the
Mm-hmm.
red flag, we need a flashlight into those corners
Yes.
where they hide.
Yes. Yes.
People need to know who they are and how dangerous they are. They are not the average run of the mill guys. As I said, they're in the book for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're in the
I
book because they need help.
Yeah, I totally agree that we need to have a voice because it has been happening too often that we
Mm-hmm.
sweep everything under the carpet. I mean, we are
Exactly.
in the 21st century. Back in the 60s and 50s, persons probably was abused emotionally, but they didn't have a voice back then, you know?
Exactly.
And especially for women, they did not have that voice, you know. So
Exactly.
I am happy that you are taking your experience and sharing with us and having us to look at the characteristics, the characteristics of those persons that are emotional abusers, and also the signs that we have to look for when it comes to emotional abuse. I'm happy that you have a voice now and you can share with us, and you are able to make us aware of what a lot of things that we probably going through and we're not even aware of that.
Exactly.
So I know you had a hard time, but I am happy that you are able to share your experience with us this evening. I am
Okay.
happy for that. And I'm sure
I,
all the audiences are happier for that. And I can see Michael Stewart is saying, I'm so proud of you, you
oh,
know.
thank you.
Donna is saying, you know, she's happy to be here. She's saying good evening to us.
Good
So a lot
evening.
of persons need to hear that, but they afraid to come out. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
it was not easy for you to come out and share your experience with us this evening, but I am grateful that you did because you helping me and everybody else who's listening this evening.
Okay. I'm happy to add my voice. I
Thank
I I I
you for your voice.
I was dragged into it by these narcissists when I realized that this person, Avril, were responsible for my brain fog, for damaging my brain. For me, I take my health very serious. And to know that these people are going around, as I said, you have to get over the emotional abuse. You get over the embarrassment, the shame, the feeling, how did I get to this level? How did I end up? Why did I miss the signs? Having to deal with all that. And then to know that they're also causing brain damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it was.
The brain fog, the brain damage is a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to deal with. So I'm sure you're going to tell us a little bit more
about that as I go on. Yes. I'll just transition into that.
Yes.
All right. So with narcissism, as I said, it's a kind of hidden, unknown, unspoken reality. Covert narcissists, Avril, are dangerous people. And they know how to hide their narcissistic traits in public and raise hell by controlling and manipulating your life in private. It's said that covert narcissists are masters of disguise. That's very important. They wear this mask, and you will never be able to tell how dangerous these people are. So they're masters of disguise. Successful actors they may be, humanitarians, politicians, clergy members, and even psychotherapists who are beloved and appreciated, but are secretly selfish, calculating, controlling, angry, and vindictive. This is by Ross Rosenberg.
Yeah.
And okay, not sure what's happening here. Oh, this seems to have gone back to 1. Okay, all right, here we are. Right. Okay. And covert narcissists, just to add a little bit on covert narcissists, these are the ones that, as I said, I love movies. There are some movies that when they are going into the enemy territory, they fly their helicopter on stealth mode. So they're low and there's no noise. You can't hear them coming. So the covert narcissists are like those. They look quiet. They look, as if they can't mash ants, we say in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Look very reserved, innocent. But behind closed door, when they take off that disguise, when they take off that mask, then they are like, let me say monster. I know I maybe shouldn't be calling them monster, but when you have wrestled with a monster, trust me, I think I've earned the right to call them a monster. Okay.
This is not funny.
I know, but Ariel, if you don't laugh, trust me, it will drive you crazy.
Exactly.
You have to learn to laugh at things sometimes, even though it's serious. When you're going through it, you can't laugh.
I know.
But then after time, you're going to laugh and just, it is what it is. Thank God I survived it.
Yeah. So in your research, you're saying that 50 to 75% are male?
That's what studies show.
I wonder why this is.
The studies did not show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if maybe, I don't know. Let me not step into that arena. I'm not qualified to go there.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe you'll find out and come back and tell us. How was that?
Definitely. My pleasure.
Oh my goodness.
Why is it? Because I'm sure the male are wondering as well. Why are they in the majority?
Why is that?
Yes. That's something to research as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as it says, it could be anybody. It could be your spouse, your parent, your guardian, family member. They're not selective. It could be employer, supervisor, co-worker, your friend, your coach, your teacher. Because sometimes persons think that it's only your partner that can be a narcissist. Narcissists are also in the workplace, as I shared with you earlier. I had an experience with an employer who was a narcissist based on the diagnostics. I think they're in cluster 3.
Yeah, cluster 3.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil. Instead, but by those who watch without doing anything. And I think that is a problem. We know of the evil going on. We know of some of these people abusing our family members and friends, but we say nothing and we do nothing. That
Yeah, we
has to
say
stop,
nothing.
in my
We say
opinion.
nothing. Yeah, we say nothing.
Exactly.
We do nothing because we are afraid ourselves, right? We are afraid for
Yeah.
our own lives. We are afraid of what this other person would think of us. We are afraid of so many things. And like you said, with this quote from Albert Einstein, the world will not be destroyed, right? By those
Right.
who do evil. Because evil is on this earth for many years now.
Exactly.
But those who watch them without doing anything,
Exactly. They just sit in the
that
stands and do nothing.
yeah. So, but like Brother Michael was saying, he said that so many people are voiceless. So it is good that you now are coming out and sharing with us that information,
Right.
because somebody would have gone through that and they would have kept it for themselves and would have said nothing or do nothing about it.
And persons who have reached out to me, I'm encouraging them to either
Yeah.
write a book or tell their story.
Yes. Yes.
We need to start something. So, as I said before, the red flag and a flashlight. We need to shine a light on these people and expose them for who they are and what they do and what they're capable of doing. All right.
Oh, brain
Emo-
damage. Okay.
Emotional abuse and brain damage. Right. So, the brain damage. The hippocampus plays a critical role in the formation, organization, and storage of new memories, as well as connecting certain sensation and emotion to these memories. So that is a part of the brain that's damaged from long-term emotional abuse. Have you ever noticed how a particular scent or song may trigger a strong memory? The
Yep.
hippocampus plays that role in this connection. And that is a part of the brain that is damaged long-term emotional abuse. The
Yeah.
hippocampus is said to be is a small curve formation in the brain that plays an important role in the limbic system. You may be asking, what is the limbic system? Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I get this information from,
Dangerous.
and as I said,
Yeah.
this information I get from Very Well Mind. I want to give credit to them. That's where I got the
Yes.
information from.
Yeah.
All right, the limbic system is a part of the brain involved in our behavioral and emotional responses, especially when it comes to the behaviors we need for survival, the fight or flight. So when that is damaged, you may be in danger and it does not work because it doesn't give you the signal that this is danger.
Yeah.
And I would say to sometimes, maybe that's why I have no fear,
Yeah.
because I will approach things without fear. I remember the other day when I learned about the brain damage. Brother Michael Stewart has been good to me as a counselor. And I went to him and he said, no, you cannot do that. Because I was ready to expose these people, April.
Yes. Yes.
And what he
Yes.
said you can do is to empower women by showing them the red flags. So
I
I thank
think
God
that
for
is.
him.
I think that is an
Yes.
amazing advice,
Yes,
because
it is.
some of us don't have a voice. Some of us are voiceless. So you bringing it out to us and making us see what it is, what are the characteristics, what to look for. It'll make it easier for somebody to
Exactly.
pinpoint, is that person this or is that person that? You know,
Right.
so that is a very good information. That's very good information and very good advice from Brother Stewart.
Yes, he's a genius when it comes to counseling.
That's
So
amazing.
fight or flight, feeding, and I give him a lot of credit for where I am now. Feeding, reproduction, and caring for our young. So that's the role, part of the role of the limbic
Yeah,
system.
system. Yeah.
Okay, the red flags. And I said, I give the red flags, approach with caution, because
Yeah.
not everyone who has one or two of these traits or characteristics are narcissists, but it's accumulation. If my memory serves me right, in the DSM-5, if they show 5, that's listed in the criteria, then there can be diagnosed as a narcissist. So at least look for 5.
Yeah.
And then if I were you, then I would run.
Yeah.
I'm not approach with caution anymore.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I was thinking the 5, can you just remind us of the 5 that we should look for? The 5 signs?
I will go back to that.
Okay,
I'll get to it before I end.
Before you end. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. There are some of them in these as well. All right. They are controlling. As I said, that was in it earlier. They want to know where you're going, what you're doing. They're controlling to the point where, Avril, you're a body, but you shouldn't have a brain. They are your brain. You shouldn't think for yourself. You shouldn't have an opinion. You shouldn't have a thought.
You describe
your brain. Exactly. I remember saying to someone, you think I'm a figurehead? You know those mannequin things?
Yeah.
I said, I was born with a brain and I'm going to be using my brain.
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, you have yours, use yours. I'm going to be using mine. So they don't want you to use your brain. You shouldn't think for yourself. You shouldn't have a thought. And your thought dare not be better than their thought. If you have a suggestion, it can't be better than theirs, because there comes their wrath. Negging. This is another one. Negging is, they say little things to give a poke at your self-esteem. If you're conscious of your weight.
Yeah.
Oh, you look, they're not going to come and say you're fat, you know, April. They're going to say, you look like you ate, you know, a little extra cake over the Christmas holiday. You're looking a little plump. And if you feel offended by it or hurt and you call them out on it, they will say, I was just joking. You're too sensitive. You know, so they will just keep doing poking and poking. Yeah. As I said before, after a while, these things start to affect you. If you enter a relationship with a narcissist and you don't have a strong sense of who you are, when you leave, you will know who you are, because they would have told you who you were during that conversation, during the relationship. Yeah. Because I tell everyone, build your own self up so no one can tear you down. They can mess with your mind, they can mess with your emotion, but they shouldn't be able to convince you that you're not who you are. Yeah. They're very self-centered. As I said earlier, everything is about them. If you're having a conversation with them, Avril, once you start to talk, they're going to try and divert it back to them. They need to be the center of attention. The spotlight has to be on them at all times. They don't really care about what you have to say. Their voice has to be heard during the course of that conversation. They are prone to, I don't think I'll be going through all of this, it's a lot. They are prone.
We have time, unless you want to go to bed early.
You're giving all my secret, Yes, I am a morning person. Up 3-4 o'clock in the morning. By 6 o'clock, my brain is shutting down. So I'm doing very well right now. All right. They are prone to outbursts. I mean, they use it as a way of control again and manipulation. There's just this rage. Everything. There's a saying that it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. That's a narcissist. Yeah. It is usual out of proportion to the issue. It's like an elephant trampling in a rose garden, or using a bazooka to kill a mosquito. It's always out of proportion to what the issue is. So scary, said before in the traits of narcissists. Yeah. Yeah. They want everything to their advantage. Yeah. They have a plan and an agenda. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was saying we kind of losing you a little bit, so I'm not sure if the internet giving trouble like last night. So,
Oh dear, let's hope we don't go back to last
I
night.
hope so. Yeah, that's all
How's it
goes well.
now?
Yeah, I could hear you now. I could hear you. I think,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, if you could hear Miss Ingrid, put some love in the chat for her so she knows that you can hear her.
Are they hearing?
Yes, they're hearing. Yes, they're
Okay.
hearing. Yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes.
that's good. All
Yeah.
right. So we were at right. So
Um,
manipulative. Everything is for their agenda.
mhm.
They will do, as I said, they will steal, they will lie, they will whatever it is, just to get the outcome that they desire. Future faking. Now, future
Oh.
faking is um, you're in a relationship with someone. As I said, whether it's platonic, whether it's business, it's intimate, and you
Mhm.
probably pick up one and two things that's kind of off, and you say,
Mhm.
you know what, there are too many off thing here. Let me just take a step and back up a
Yes.
bit. This thing when this vehicle is in reverse, this vehicle is backing up. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
they will now create this
Mhm.
beautiful future for you. How we're gonna do this? We're gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna buy you this. We can do that. Whatever
Yes.
things that you've been complaining about all along, all of a
Yes.
sudden it's on this beautiful horizon. And of
Yes.
course,
Yes.
it's future faking because it never really happens. You go back
Yeah.
into it and the cycle continues. So that is
I was
something that
thinking.
they use to pull you back.
Yeah, I was thinking if crocodile tears would fall in that place, but I'm thankful that you clarified that for us. So we have Paul Blake on there who's saying congratulations and wonderful to see you
Thank
doing
you.
this presentation. So everyone has been, congratulating you and encouraging you to have that voice, but especially some of us who did not have that voice or who does not have that voice or who is voiceless. So
And
once
thanks.
again, Ingrid, thank you so much.
And thanks for everyone that's on. Thanks for everyone that's commenting. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
All right, where am I? Blame shifting.
blame shifting. Yeah,
April, they don't take responsibility for anything. It is always going to be your fault. You always
yeah,
find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do. You're taking the wrong for things you didn't do.
yeah.
Now, even though there's nothing wrong with, sometimes taking the wrong for peace sake, this is
Mm-hmm.
in an excessive amount, constantly going on because they're never wrong. You're always going to be blamed for everything because in their mind, April, they're perfect. If you're
Yeah,
perfect, you cannot do anything wrong. So if it's not them because they're perfect, it has to be you.
yeah,
So blame shifting.
yeah.
They're sensitive to injury from criticism. They are very, 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 did I say very? Very sensitive.
Only so many times. Only so many
um,
times.
I know ego. You
Yeah.
dare not criticize them, Avril. You dare not give, like normally you take constructive criticism.
Yes.
They don't see constructive criticism. They see you hurting them. They see you not liking them
Mm-hmm.
because how dare you say something about them and they're perfect. You
Yeah.
don't like them. You are a hateful person. They don't
Mm-hmm.
take criticism very well. And I wonder, how do they grow?
Yes.
And it
Yes.
is said that it is believed that persons with narcissistic traits, they have a fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is, I am how I am, and I'm never going to be better than this. Nothing is going to improve. With the
Mm-hmm.
growth mindset, we say, okay, I was at 1 today, tomorrow I'll strive for 2, if not a 2, a 1.5, or even a 1.25. We know
Yeah.
that we can grow. We know that we can improve. But with a set mindset, they think that they're peaked and there's no getting better. So they're perfect. How dare you criticize them?
Yeah.
And
It,
the
it's
rage, go
it's
ahead.
just I keep interjecting and not letting you finish, but
No, go ahead.
this topic is kind of close to my heart because
Mhm.
there's so much that you are bringing out right now that's just boom, it's just an explosion in my brain right now
Mm.
because
Wow.
there's so many things at work. There's so many things that I've come across in relationships and all of that. And it's just compiling right now that,
Right.
this is what I have been dealing with, or this is what that is going on in the workplace, So it's just amazing topic this evening. I just want to say that.
Person may not know what narcissistic abuse is, but once you get to understand the language and learn of the few vocabularies that did it, then you realize that this is what I've been going through. This is what I've been experiencing.
Yes.
But we don't know what it is. It's very confusing sometimes. We know something is off. We know something is odd, but we don't know exactly what it is.
Yes.
All right. I did the rage already. They're disrespectful and rude. They have no sense of all in all, and they can look down on you and talk. They're above you, so they have no respect for you and can be considered to be very rude. They love to brag. I have this degree. I remember my employee has this degree and that degree, and at one point he had one, then another point he heard he has like two, and then I think at the end of it he had more degrees than a thermostat. It just kept going on and on and on.
Yeah, because he needs you to know that he has all those degrees, and he needs you to know that you must respect me because I have those degrees, right?
Exactly. Okay. Where am I? Usually in relationship, they're usually unfaithful. It's usually a triangle thing going on. It's always their partner plus somebody else. Sometimes, I heard this mentioned today on another program, and I smiled to myself because they will be saying, "You mean I can't have any female friends? Or I can't have any male friends?" When you know something is wrong and you call them out on it, they try and make it look as if, oh, it's so innocent. It's a female friend, and try to make you look as if you're in the wrong. What kind of person are you? You're antisocial. How come you don't want me to have any friends? And then you start to thinking, maybe I'm a bad person. Maybe I really don't want him to have any friends. I don't want her to have any friends.
Yeah.
So that's a tactic of theirs. They're energy vampires, Avril. They will cause an argument out of nothing. They probably could make Mother Teresa get angry. They just keep nagging, and at the end of a conversation with them or interaction, Avril, you feel drained and tired. Because it's a supply for them. They depleting your energy seems to vitalize them. So it's a source of supply for them. So when they get a reaction out of you, the higher the reaction, the stronger the reaction, the better for them, because that's more supply for them. So they will drain your energy. And basically they're called energy vampires.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yes. As I said, they're always trying to pick an argument. Always want you to be angry and arguing, and then you're drained and they're just energized like a bunny and ready to go. Lying and projecting. Avril, lying, I think, is their middle name, maybe middle and first name. They will lie to your face. I remember once when I was experiencing lying with someone, and the lying was so constant, and their face was as if they actually believed what they were saying. And there was a time when the person know that I know the truth, so they know that I know that they were lying, and they were standing in front of my face and lying. And to the point that I said, I think this person is going crazy, because I didn't know about narcissism at this point. So I think in my mind that this person must be going crazy, because I couldn't believe that person could lie like that. Avril, they do look in your face and they will lie. That is, to me, what scares me, because they're so good at it. there was, and I remember thinking, if I go to court with this person, I am going to lose. They're going to have all the lies, and I'm going to be over here with the truth, and they're going to destroy me with their lies. They're that good.
Yeah, because I guess over the years, the experience is just so easy, right? So
Exactly. It comes not. They've been doing it. They have been doing it for years. Exactly.
Yeah.
Smear campaign. Oh, dear. Oh, this one is dangerous. The smear campaign, as it says, well, they smear. And they smear your name and your reputation. They are very vindictive. And I said, they have a very sensitive ego. So if you ever walk away from them, Avril, they'll go after you like a psychopath. They want to kill your body, they'll destroy your reputation and your name. They're the kind of persons if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, say, I'm in a relationship with a narcissist. What my narcissist fiance will do, I don't have a fiance, but my narcissist fiance will do is will go around to everybody in my circle and pretend to be the victim and let people think I am the perpetrator. So when I've gone through all the confusion and all the pain and all the hurt and developed the courage now to go share with somebody what I'm going through, they don't like me because they see me as the perpetrator, thinking that the perpetrator is a victim. So they go around and take away your support system.
Yeah.
And this is dangerous. Persons have lost their job, they have lost family members because of these lies. And I said they're very good at it. I remember my employer, as I said, I didn't call the company name or the name or anything, so nobody will know who he is. I remember when I resigned from this company, I know he was going to now go after my reputation. But Avril, I don't know a lot of people. I was telling myself, so he really can't do me much damage. And even if he go around and everybody believe him, those who know me, not going to believe him. And those are the people that matters most to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember a customer called me from overseas and said, Miss Green, your boss is trying to throw you under the bus. Now, this is a customer that we have not met for a long period of time. But based on the little interaction that she had with me, I guess she came to the conclusion that I am not who this person was saying that I am.
Yes.
So she called from over the States to call me to let me know what this man is doing. You see how vicious they are? So if she didn't call, I would not know that he was doing all that up there. And I don't even know what he was saying. She was just saying, throw me under the bus.
Oh my.
So that's with the smear campaign. They also, narcissists hide behind flying monkeys. And flying monkeys are those persons that they use to do their dirty work. If you can remember a particular head of a country, he has people that goes out and do his dirty work, do the dirty campaigning, spread lies about other people. So they have these people that goes out and spread the lies for them. Now with the flying monkey believe their story.
Yeah.
So if you come to me and you said to me, if you and I are friends, and you said, Ingrid, you know, X is a bad person, X did that to me, I'm going to tend to want to believe you.
Yes.
And not like X, because I trust you. So now I know and go tell somebody else that you know that X is such a bad person, X, and everybody know don't like X when X is innocent. So those are the flying monkeys. They go around and they tell the lies and they spread the lies on behalf of the narcissist.
Yeah, these are new new terms for me. I mean, I know one or two of them, but it's just amazing that you can break this down for us. And I'm sure that the listeners or the audiences are happy to hear the breakdowns and the different examples that you have given regarding those terms.
Okay, and April, just keep time for me.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. They love the high value supply, and that is you give them admiration. You prop them up. You make them look good. You make them feel good. So if you're a good supply, then they will hold on to you because you make them appear good in society. You make them feel good about themselves. You lift them up. So they will even marry these kind of people because these kind of people add value to their life. But
Yeah.
even though they will marry these people, they tend not to be faithful to these people because they're not in it for the person. It's not a love situation where I love you and we go together. I support you, you support me. They're just in it, as I said, with an agenda. The agenda is to appear a certain way in society.
Yeah.
And then final one is gaslighting.
Gaslighting. I'm
Yes,
familiar with this one.
right. Well,
Yeah.
gaslighting, you were saying something?
I just wanted to say a comment regarding Andrea Savizon. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but she's saying that every word spoken is true, Ingrid, before you are saying here, I have been living in a work situation since 2019. So she's saying that all the terms that you have given us example of, she said all of
Right.
that is true because she now
Wow.
is experiencing that at work, and it's since
Right.
2019. So
Wow.
I know I know with the session that you have given us what it is that they do, the narcissistic person, what would they do, and the emotional abuse and what it is, and what to look for when it comes to the characteristic. And I'm sure you're going to tell us how you overcome and how you were able to deal with them.
Most definitely.
That would be a very good thing for her to stick around and listen to your experience.
Okay. So gaslighting, as I said, you say you know about this. They try to make you doubt your reality. They try to make you feel as if you're insane, you're going crazy. It is the name gaslighting is based on a movie that came out in 1944 when, and funny enough, the name of the movie star is Ingrid
Ingrid.
Bergman.
Oh my
I thought that was funny, you know.
Yeah, she's telling us all about it today.
Right.
Yeah.
So the husband tried to make her doubt her reality, tried to make her think that she was crazy. So that's what they do. They try to make you doubt what you see. What you see you didn't see, what you hear you didn't hear. They just, you know, I remember once I saw something and I said to the person, I saw that. And the person, they don't know what I'm talking about. And they were so convincing. At one point, I was tempted to think, did I really see that? Because, as I said, when they lie with such a straight face. You start to, did I hear that? Did I actually see that? They want you to doubt your reality.
Yeah,
So basically, that's the essence of it. Go ahead.
yeah, because the power is what they want, right? You have no
Exactly.
control because they are the controller. So you
Exactly.
have no power, you know. So that
And
it's like the magnet. The magnet
exactly.
has the power over anything that
This
it
feel
attracts, right?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as you rightly said, it's about control. They want to control the victim and twist their sense of reality. They may do you something very abusive, and then when it's brought up, they have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't matter how much they hurt you or what degree. They have no clue, April, as to what you're talking about. They never did it. I mean, Jamaicans, when they know this song, with Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Yeah,
That's their anthem. It
that was
wasn't me.
that was well-known song, Shaggy.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the narcissist. It wasn't me. They're going to deny. It was an innocent call.
Yeah.
Nothing was wrong with that call. There was no quid pro quo. It was the best call in the history of all calls. They will deny, deny, deny.
Yeah.
That's all I said, all about.
Yeah.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I like the chat. It's on fire, basically. So Andrea, again, she's just giving a comment. She says, so true. You know, the narcissistic person never marry for love, and that's what you mentioned earlier.
Right.
Life is fake and presumptuous. You know, so they marry for money and for opportunities. They cheat, and that's all what we
Discussed.
discussed earlier. So yeah.
Yeah, they have an agenda for any relationship. They have an agenda. It's never because they love you or want to be with you or want to see what's best or want what is best for you. It's always about the supply. What can you give them? Do you have the money? Do you have the status? Whatever it is, they're in it for something. It's never about you and your best interest. Your best interest is never at heart when it comes to the narcissist.
Yeah.
No. As I said, I'm all about red flags.
Yeah.
I'm going to give as much as I can. When you meet a narcissist, you should be able to say, this is a red flag or this is off. This this kind of rub me the wrong way. Because many times, you know, we doubt our intuition. As women especially, we have intuition. And we may sense that something is off and sometimes we just dismiss it. Listen to your intuition. If you feel like something is off, they always say better to be safe than sorry.
That's right.
As I said, this vehicle is backing up. You just back up and go into a different direction. So I'm going to share 6 red flags, April, that I identified with my boss. At the onset of it, in the initial stage, I didn't label them as red flags. I thought they were just odd.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you now, April.
Yeah.
When I give them, you tell me if you're in my position, if you would think this is a red flag, or if you would think, no, that is kind of normal, a normal interaction, interpersonal relationship. Okay?
Okay.
No. with the first getting to know the person over the phone, he said that he wants someone to go in the company because everyone that he has ever employed was a thief. And I said to myself, everyone? So I said, how long, you know, has your company been in existence? I'm thinking he's going to say maybe about like 6 months. It was years. So I said, everyone he has ever employed has robbed him and left him. And I said, that's kind of odd because I'm looking at my history of interviewing people and hiring them. And I'm saying to myself, if I interviewed everybody and every one of them turned out to be a thief, it says something about me. So naturally, yeah. So I said to the person instinctively, so what's your hiring process like? Because I'm not thinking as someone who does interview.
Yeah.
He says, ho, 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 Miss Green. That's my man laugh. He said, ho, 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 Miss Green. That's a question for a CEO. So basically, he didn't want to answer what the process is like.
Yeah.
So would you think that's a red flag? You think for all the years that he's been existent, every one of his employees has robbed him and left?
I think this is a red flag.
Okay. I had that done as a red flag.
Yeah.
When we're doing the official interview now, April, if he asked me, he said, oh, ask me a question and I answered whatever the question is, I would answer. He would then answer the question himself and then go in more detail. He was going on and on and on. So I said, maybe my answer is too short. When he asked me the next question, I answered. So if my question is 5 minutes, he answered the question again himself and went 10 minutes. And I'm saying it as if this man, you ever watch the models on the runway?
No.
It's as if he wants his brain to be on the runway and I'm there, wow, in awe of this man's brain. He just wants to model his brain on the highway, on the runway. So I thought that was odd. Would you think that was odd?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think that was odd? You remember any of the red flags that we said about this?
Yeah.
Right, they love to show off themselves. They like to prop up themselves. Exactly. They're all about boosting up. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another. I'm going to, for time's sake, I'm going to skip a few.
Okay. Yeah.
This, yeah, narcissist also. All right. I want to identify. Now, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 o'clock at night, this gentleman was calling me about work. On Sundays, this gentleman was calling me about work. I say I go to my bed early because I'm a morning person, 7 o'clock, and he gets angry if I don't respond to his call 9, 10 o'clock at night. Would you say that's a red flag?
Yeah.
Narcissist does not respect boundaries. It doesn't matter what you say. Stop here. They're going to push. They do not respect boundaries. So that's another red flag.
Yes, I would say so too.
Exactly. And I just want to pinpoint another smear campaign, something like a smear campaign. This young lady let me listen to a conversation with this gentleman, not knowing that I was listening. And they will tell a lie, Avril, with just a little bit of truth in it, so that the person may tend to want to believe. So if, for example, Avril, someone saw you in, let's do somewhere that we're familiar with, in Georgetown.
Yeah, yeah.
They will go and tell somebody that they saw you with a male in Georgetown. And, it, as if you're having an affair. So the person may think, I don't know Avril as that kind of person. And they come to say, Avril, were you in Georgetown? And you said yes. So they would think now that what the man is saying is true. And that's what they do. They smear.
Yes,
so for time, I just didn't bother go with the 6.
Okay. Well, I know for sure that you will be back because, like I said, the chat is on fire. And persons are commenting, they're responding, they're engaging, and I don't even know what to say. But it is. I am grateful. I am honored that we did this live.
I'm glad to be here.
I know we haven't touched base for a long time, and then all of a sudden we're connecting, and this is what's happening. And I was so happy that you said yes, that you will do this, Ingrid. I want to say that I really, really, really appreciate what you're doing this evening, and I'm sure the audience will agree with me because the chat is on fire. The chat is on fire. So I know for sure we're going to be doing the healing journey of how you overcome all of this and how you could say that now I know this, I'm going to teach it, and I'm going to empower other women or men who is going through that same thing.
All right. How much time do we have?
I would say 20 minutes if you want, or 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As I said, keep your eye on the clock.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. My healing journey, unfortunately, did not just include the emotional abuse and the gaslighting. There was also the betrayal and sexual assault. And that made my journey a very hard uphill climb. But I have a mindset, Avril, that if I'm not dead, then I'm not done. And when we are ready to engage in anything, we have to believe with this journey that we are worth it. We have to believe that when the pain comes, because I am worth it, I'm going to sit with it and deal with it. I'm not going to run away from it because I deserve to live a life as a healed version of me. I told someone, recently that I wasn't going to let them leave me in a warped state. I had to heal myself and come out of this being healed and aligned with the real version of who I am. As I said, if I'm not dead, Avril, don't count me out because I'm not dead. I'm not done.
Yeah.
As I said, I have a growth mindset. I walk by faith and not by sight. I call those things that are not as though they were. If you believe, all things are possible if you believe. And these are things that I have cemented in my brain. And, preparing for this interview, I was looking back and I was thinking, how far back did I have this mindset? Because I'm the kind of person, Avril, that I don't always use reality as my source of reference. Because if I believe I can do it, I'm going to go ahead and try. I remember when I was as far back as 12 years old, and I was on the track team. Because I was looking at my mindset, how far back does it go? I remember I was in the sports, and I'm good around the corner, so I usually want lane 1 or lane 2. This day, Avril, it was 150 meters. I got lane 8. Lane 8. And at the school, it was my final year. There were 2 of us that were the fastest. I was the second fastest. This other girl was the fastest. I looked back on the field and she was that thing in lane 2. And I said, I'm going to come last.
Yeah.
I am going to come last. And then I stopped and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to come first and she's not going to pass me. I'm going to win. And I said, okay, I'm going to go out. And Avril, on your mark, set, go. And we are off. And because we were in the same house, the parents and everyone are always cheering for both of us. Run Ingrid, run X. Run Ingrid, run X. Because they know we're coming in with she first and me second with the points.
Yes.
And of course they were cheering on. Go Ingrid, go X. Go Ingrid, go X. When we were about 50, I have about 15 meters left in Avril, I saw her right beside me. But this time, instead of the people shouting, go Ingrid, go X, I only heard, run Ingrid, run Ingrid. And Avril, that gave me an extra boost.
Yes.
And I won the race.
That's amazing.
So I say, don't always use your past as your source of reference. If you believe you can do it, hold on to this belief and you just go at it. Who knows? You may just win, even though you have never won that race before.
Yes.
Okay. My journey started out with forgiveness. Because, as I said before, I had a lot of persons that I had to forgive. And at the time, my heart, I think, was being at risk of developing hate. Because when the hurt that's done to you is in such magnitude, it's easy to not like this person. It's tempting to go into hate mode and resentment. So I decided to protect my heart. I need to be able to get rid of all this feeling that was lingering. No, as I said, I'm a very structured person. And I know that I had to forgive, but I didn't know the steps. And when you're in emotional turmoil, when things are just swirling around like a tornado, I needed structure. Point A, point B, C. And this came to mind. I'd read it many, many years ago. And it came back. So you will write to the person, you address the letter to the person, not with the intention of giving it to them necessarily. But you write as if you are writing to them. You write about why you're angry, and then you get out all the anger. I must warn, this is not an easy process.
Yes.
I stopped many times during that crying with my pillow with tears, because to revisit these wounds, it's not easy. It was never easy. And that is where a lot of people fail, because the pain is so hard. They just walk away from it. They can't be bothered and just continue life as usual. But if we want a different life, we have to be willing to sit with the past, deal with the past, and leave it in the past. So we go through the anger, the hurt, and the sadness, the guilt, and the remorse. And this letter brings you right back to a state. Once you have gotten out all these feelings, then it says what you love or appreciate about the person. It was like a purge, getting out all these ill feelings.
Yeah.
And you finally forgive the person. And what I used during that stage, and after that, we look at the person and said, okay, maybe they are broken too. Broken people break other people.
Yes.
Maybe they were broken when they were young.
Yes.
Maybe someone hurt them to the point that they never healed their wounds, and that's why they are hurting us. So on that basis, I can forgive that person. Not that I condone what they did, not that I agree with what they did, because no abuse is acceptable. But I can understand from a human point of view that if someone is broken, they probably can break someone else too. So that made it a little bit easier towards the end in terms of forgiving the person. Then you close the letter by saying, what would you have liked to see? What would you want the person to do? Be more empathic. With a narcissist, maybe that's not possible, but you still write it for your own sake, because you're not doing it necessarily for them. You're doing it for you. It's your healing journey. It's your healing process. So the focus is on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that this is very, very important, because we don't see forgiveness as letting go and freeing ourselves. We see forgiveness sometimes as just, because God forgive me, I'm supposed to forgive you. Sometimes we don't see forgiveness as letting go of the hurt, and you yourself now is so light because you've taken off all that cancer inside of you, because you have the hate, the grudge, everything building up inside of you. And you are free. You are that person's prisoner.
Exactly.
So,
and it affects every aspect of your life, that because the bitterness and the anger and the hate is still in your heart. So it's going to filter out in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, so the healing. There is a shadow. No, Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, he coined the concept of the shadow. It described those aspects of the personality that we, for one reason or the other, choose to reject or repress. So there are some parts of us that we don't really like. Maybe our parents didn't like it. Maybe society says, that's not acceptable. For one reason or the other, we just choose to just bury that part of us. Now, it is said that most of us have parts of us that we really don't like. So we push that part down into our subconscious. And the collection of the repressed aspect of our identity is what Carl Jung refers to as our shadow. So there were things about myself that I did not like. And those were buried in the shadow, buried in our subconscious. Basically, it's another name for the subconscious, the unconscious part of us. So it was buried there. Now, even though we don't know that it is there, because sometimes we don't bury it, we don't say, okay, I'm going to bury this. Someone said something and it left a wound, we never heal it, and it still lingers there. But it shows up itself in things in our everyday life. Because even though we are not aware of it, it is still operating outside the boundaries of our consciousness. And it affects our day-to-day life. It colors the lens that we look through in other people. And that is why sometimes we're triggered and we don't know why we're triggered, because there's a wound on the inside that we did not heal. Someone, as I said, someone said something about our talent and we dismiss it and we bury it. And when we hear someone else do it, then it's triggered. We don't know why. I see an example where some people are afraid of clowns, terrified, they're triggered when they see clowns and say clowns are disgusting. But it's not that clowns are disgusting. It's that when they were small, maybe a clown frightened them. That was buried. So when they see the clowns now, it's a trigger because it's connected to our memories and our thoughts and our experiences. So when we are triggered by someone's behavior, it is a sign that there's a wound in us that needs to be healed. So once those wounds are healed, then there won't be any trigger.
Yes.
Now, if I meet a narcissist, I am not triggered because my wounds are healed.
Yeah.
Before, I was triggered because there were unhealed wounds. Now, what I do, because people, I believe, are our mirrors, they show us who we are on the inside, those things that we are afraid to look at. So, for example, guy meets girl, guy start to like girl, but then guy start to criticize girl because he's now realizing that he's entering into a phase where he can get hurt. So his memories now goes back to when he was last hurt. And thinking now, you are the reason. You are not the reason. He's just triggered by the memories of past hurt. Now, until he heals those wounds, he will not commit because he is afraid, because he's living in the experience and the memories and the thoughts of when he was once hurt. So that's some of the ways in which you can identify your trigger and get to heal those triggers.
Okay.
I had a lot of triggers, a lot of blind spots, but it is my journaling that helped me. Because once you start writing and putting things out on paper, as I said, I like structure. It started to look structured to me. So I could see X and Y and say, oh, this is why A happened. This is why B happened.
Yeah.
So journaling puts things in perspective and helps me now to start identifying my blind spots, and we're able to heal them. As I was said earlier on, this is the projection. So you see in others what we won't admit that is within us. And although the flaws are there and we are ignoring the flaws, they're still operating outside the boundaries of our awareness. So we magnify, because for some people, you see them and you don't really like them. You don't know why you don't like them, but they trigger you. Pay attention. There is an unhealed wound that they're exposing in you. It's not them. It is you. Take some time, sit with it. What about this person that really triggers me? Go back into your memory, write about it, think about it carefully. Because first we reject and then we project. So don't dismiss it. It's never the person. If they just trigger you, there's something that needs to be addressed. And that's what I credit my healing process to, the shadow work.
Yeah.
Going into that area and finding those triggers, finding those old wounds from as far back as when I was a little girl, and healing those wounds.
Yeah.
All right. I always believe, April, that your emotions matter. Our emotions matter. People sometimes say, oh, get over it. Oh, it wasn't a big deal. You don't know if it was a big deal to me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the monsters that I had to fight. You don't know how my emotions were compromised.
Yes.
So your emotions matter. And don't let anyone tell you that your emotions don't matter. If they want validate it for yourself.
Yes.
So this is ways you can express yourself. Singing, painting, drawing, sketching, whatever it is that you like to do, or whatever it is that you can express yourself, you go ahead and do that. And these are on my blog if you want to go in it in details: dancing, writing, journaling. But get in touch with your emotions. Get it out, deal with it, make sure that your emotions are healthy. We need to be emotionally healthy, because in every aspect of our life, we are going to be using our emotions, and we cannot be walking around with emotions that are not healed. It's not healthy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Surrender. Yes. Thank you for concurring. Surrender. Now, surrender is a conscious participation of your own unfolding. It's a Michael Bernard Beckwith. And surrender was very hard for me, because I am a person that likes to be in control of things. I like to know what is happening, when it is happening, what time is, as long as it has to do with my life, I want to have a say in it. So I didn't go into the surrender mode willingly. I think I was left with no other option but to surrender. And surrender is basically, for me in my life, is that we know that there's a plan. I know that there's a plan for my life, but no longer do I put in cement, this is what it is. I allow my life to unfold because I was adamant that I was never going to do any form of interview about my experience. But then this path came, and instead of fighting it, instead of resisting it, I just flowed into it. And it's, as I said, it's like a tree. When the wind blows, if it does not bend, it's going to break. So it's not that you are just flying into the wind with no aim or with no plan. It's that your life has a natural flow to it. It is not in man who walks to direct his own steps. I believe that God has a plan for all of our lives. As I said, I fought this coming and adding my voice to the conversation. I told everybody, I am not doing no interviews. I fought this. And narcissists just keep coming up in my life. And I still said no. It wasn't until I saw that these people were damaging my brain. I said, okay, I need to leave my comfort zone and now step into this unknown arena. He said, being transformed by the renewing of your mind. Feed your mind with positive things, with scriptures, with things that will build your mind. Because at the end of the day, it is your mind that will take you through. Have a why. When you're going on your journey, before you start it, know where you are, know where you want to go, and decide to get there. But is it getting there, Avril, that you're going to need a strong why? You have to have a North Star, because there are going to be times when you're going to want to give up because you don't want to sit with this pain. It's too much. But when you think about it and think about your why, my why was because when I was on the bed, as I shared on another platform, another interview, when I was on the bed and the thought came to my mind that, if you die, no one will miss you. I was going to take my life because I knew in my mind that my family would miss me. I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I do have are valuable friends, and I know they would miss me. You have to have a mind that is strong. You have to tell yourself why. I told myself my why was, I want to see what will happen if I survive this. Because you have to take yourself from out of that position and put your vision outside of it. I remember, as I said, when I was in that abusive situation and the pain was too much for me to bear, I was banging my head on the wall just to divert my attention from the pain, the emotional pain that I could not see. So I could understand this pain, so I could focus on the pain that I could understand. I kept knocking my head and said, all things work together for good. All things work together for good. Because in my mind, this too will pass. We have to be able to have a why that is outside of our present circumstance. So when we reach that why, then it means that we would have gone and finished the course. There is this gentleman, and there's a movie that came out about his life, Lone Survivor. This man on paper should not be alive. He went through so much, so many shots, so many broken bones. And he said to survive, to come out of that, when he was on his belly, because a part of him, I think, was paralyzed down. He said he had a stone and he marked it in the ground. and he would just drag himself across. And when his foot reached that mark, he dragged another one. So some days, April, you will just have to survive 1 minute a day. I used to ask myself, okay, I must can survive just 1 minute. What can I do within this 1 minute? Sometimes it's just 1 minute, just not to lose your mind.
Yeah.
Have a why and don't give up, because we are worth it. We deserve to live a life that is emotionally healthy and free from all this toxic abuse. These are things that help me. Everybody keeping an eye on the time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No, these are things that help me.
Nobody complaining.
Okay. Focus meditation. Focus on your breath. Now, anxiety is also a side effect of narcissistic abuse, and it's also stemmed from the brain fog, and they're all tied in one. And there were times when I had to just lay down with my headphones and just be listening to as I said, classical music, different frequencies, just to calm my mind and just pay attention to my breath, just in and out, just bring my focus onto my breath. I remember when I had to do major surgery, and I wasn't healed yet, so of course my mind wasn't, calm. And when they came and took my pressure, it was very high. I didn't want to come back out. So of course I just went, lay down, just stay there, calm myself, focus on the breath, and just starting in and out, bring my, focus to the present moment. And by the time they came back, my pressure was okay. So these are things that I know work, because these are things that I would have used. Now, at the time, I did not know it was called focus meditation.
Yeah.
I just know that I was doing things that I would have read before this happened. Because when you're going through a test, April, it's not study time. When it's test time, is what you would have learned before. So those are the things that helped me. As I said, I didn't know it was focus meditation, but I know about breath work. I know it calmed the mind. So these things just came. I was just operating on default mode, basically.
Yeah.
Doing things that I would have learned before. So focus meditation helps to calm the mind and reduce all those. Movement meditation. As I said, I knew nothing about movement meditation, but I realized that walking especially helped.
Yeah.
I just kept walking, and I'd walk for even an hour. I love to exercise because, as I said, I was coming from a place. There's this song that Buju Banton sings that, I was buried alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I've got a feeling. I felt as if I was buried beneath the debris of emotional abuse and trauma. I felt I was buried alive and screaming, but no one could hear me. So I would walk, I would exercise, and I would do Tai Chi because I wanted to learn something new. I wanted it to be exciting. I wanted to be something that would keep my interest. So I learned Tai Chi, just the slowness, the slow movement. And because my mind was just always moving and going, this kind of helped to just, put things in focus and just slow me down. I did a lot of salsa and I did some gardening. I got some big melons, April, and some pumpkins.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying something new too. I'm trying boxing, kickboxing. So
yes, I saw you with your big gloves on. You go, girl.
You have to do something. You have to do something. I mean,
Yes.
You're so right. You have to do something to basically heal, the healing process, whatever you're going through.
Yes.
You must be able to do something for you to be able to get
Find
rid
peace.
of
Yes.
the peace that you have. Take time for you. So I know we almost 2 hours, but I think that this was well, what do you call that? The timing is couldn't be better for me especially, and I'm sure
Okay.
the friends are grateful as well. So we'll let you continue. I know for sure we will have you again because this is amazing.
Okay.
And before you go, I wanted for you to tell us a little bit about your book as well.
Okay, let me see if I can stop sharing screen.
Yeah.
Let me attempt to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. We can always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yes, my book, it's on Amazon, and it's also on my website. The information is all there. If you go to my website, on every page, there's a link to my book. It takes you to Amazon. As I said, it's a journal experience from
Yeah.
emotional abuse and trauma to emotional healing.
Okay. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put some hats in the in the chat for Ingrid, because she has done an incredible job this evening. She took the opportunity to come and share her experience with us. She did not finish her presentation because I know for sure she has a lot. She took time to go and study and to research and to be able to be here with us this evening. She will be on at a later date. I will keep you guys posted as to when she will be on again to share with us of how she has overcome and be an overcomer to all those emotional abuse that she was experiencing, and now she can say that she is an overcomer. Am I right to say that?
Oh, most definitely, my dear. Most definitely.
Yeah. So Andrea is asking, how can I get your presentation after this show? So she is on YouTube, so you can get a copy of that on YouTube. So Ingrid, just tell us a little bit about where else we can get your the video that we're doing right now. I know for sure it will be on Facebook.
Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And it will be on YouTube. I'll try and get it on my my website as well.
Yes. So the information is here, ladies and gentlemen. So you have Ingrid Johnson Green. She is a speaker and also she is a writer. She just showed you her book and she has her own website. She also does blogging. So ladies and gentlemen, she's an all-rounder. She is our very own Ingrid Johnson Green from the island of Jamaica. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you want to listen to this again, please feel free to play over and over. Share it with someone that you think will need it. I just think that this is very important for us to have the word out there and for us to be able to empower other women and men who is going through this emotional abuse. Right? Any
Most
last word,
definitely.
Ingrid?
Yes. Just decide to change your past. CYP, change your past. And you change your past by redefining yourself. Where you saw that you were helpless, see now that you're brave. You know, show up differently, because when you change your past, you're no longer a victim. You are a survivor. You know, you are now resourceful. Change the adjectives that you use to describe yourself. Show up empowered. And once you change how you see yourself in the past, you show up differently. And once you show up differently, then your future is going to change. Heal your wounds, you deserve it.
Amazing, amazing. So Andrea is saying, what is the name of the book? So she would want you to put the book up again so we can tell her the name of the book and where else she can get it. I know for sure you can get it on Amazon, Andrea,
Right.
and you can also
Go to my website.
go to the website. Right now, the website is on there, so you can see. If you
Or if she goes to my page on Facebook, Ingrid Johnson
right,
Green, any
yeah.
link is there. It takes her directly to my website.
Awesome. So there you have it from Miss Ingrid Johnson Green. So Ingrid, I know I just told you to say a few last words, but someone who is going through this, what would your advice be? I know you tell us a lot of stuff, but just one thing that you could share with us before we leave as to what would your advice be for someone who is going through it and doesn't even know that they are going through it.
Well, if they don't know that they're going through it, then
Emotional
they
abuse.
will not seek advice. But if they notice that something is wrong, that something is off, talk it over to someone. Find someone that you can trust. Go to them, share your experience with them. Sometimes just sharing somebody will be able, if they can't help you, they may know somebody that they can refer you to. But don't sit in abuse. Don't be silent about it. Share it with somebody. As I've always said, silence only encourages and empowers the perpetrators.
And that's rightly said. That is rightly said. So, ladies and gentlemen, put some hearts in the chat for Miss Ingrid. She did a very good job. She did an excellent job, an amazing job. I have to use all my adjectives right now to describe the way, how you really empowered us this evening with that information. And I'm so grateful getting to know you and also being able to say that you are my spiritual sister. So hats off to you, Ingrid. I don't know if I would have
Thank you.
been able to go through what you have gone through and being able to come back and be an overcomer and to share with other persons how this can help them as well. So you basically are a testimonial. Sorry, you're giving your testimony of what you went through, and you can say, yes, I went through it. You now can do better. You don't have to stay in that situation. You don't have to stay voiceless, So thank you so much for your voice. And there's lots of hats going out in the chat right now. So Sharon,
Thank you.
have sending you a lot of hats, and we have Nina Nichols, if I'm saying that correctly, and then you have Andrea Savan and so many other persons because I'm not able to see all the persons. But we
Just say
agree.
hi, everybody. My love and appreciation to everyone who showed up.
Yeah, so we appreciate you being here with us, ladies and gentlemen. All those who made the time to be with us, all those who are going to see this video later on, we appreciate you taking your time to just watch the video. And like I said earlier, please share this video because we need to be empowered with this information. You probably not going through it. You probably don't know any characteristics of a narcissistic person, but you are able to share that information. Thank you, Lisa, for all the love that you've shown us this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted here now. I'm so excited. Ingrid, I really want to thank you.
My pleasure, April. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, they say that when you are alive, give you all the flowers, give you everything when you are alive. It's not when you're dead. So I want to say I appreciate you. You have empowered me this evening, and I'm sure the rest of the ladies you have empowered them as well, and the men that was on the chat as well. So we want to thank you for taking your time, for sharing your experience with us, and also for being bold enough to take that voice and to have that voice and to be able to be with us this evening. So once again, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get the video to share on YouTube, on the website, and also on her Facebook page. If you have any questions, any comments, if you want to get any other information, please reach out to Ingrid Johnson Green, and she will be able to help you. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ingrid.
You're welcome, and thank you.
All right.